Rugby memorabilia, I've got a fair bit. To be honest, I was getting a video ready today about kind of disciplinary record stuff. And then I went out with my wife and kids and I saw a vending machine which was selling these Rugby Union Trading Cards. These are the 2019 ones from from New Zealand Rugby. Now, if you've been with the channel a significantly long time, I think end of 2018, I opened a pack of these ones, which were like the 2018 version of these cards. Generally, you get Super Rugby players, you might be lucky enough to get an All Black, and then you might get some kind of shiny card. Shiny. Does that look shiny? Kind of. I used to collect some cards when I was a young fella. WWF cards were a thing, and packets of bubblegum. I should say these cards are just plain cards. They don't come with breakfast cereal. They don't come with a toy or some kind of sweet. It's just a card. So collectible trading cards, I guess, taken from kind of what they like to do in America, you know what I mean? And some of those cards can be quite valuable. I'm not quite sure the New Zealand cards are quite at that level, given that the vending machine, which had this 2019 packet for $3, also had still some of these 2018 cards, lots of 2018 card packs for $1. So I don't know how well they sold. Either they sold well and printed too many, or they didn't sell that well. I don't know. But anyway, it made me think, what's some other stuff that I got? Like, just how much rugby stuff have I got? But I'm also more curious to know what's some of the coolest stuff you've got. Because you guys have sent me some pretty cool stuff. Like, from the last World Cup, I got sent, this Japanese Hello Kitty. It's kind of like a tea towel feeling. I use it as a kind of flag. But a Japan Rugby, like with a little American football style thing. Like, I also got sent a Japanese magazine from, from the tournament after they'd beaten Ireland. I bought the official book of the World Cup, which says Owen Farrell's going to be a star player. Sergio Parise, Stuart Hogg. I wonder which South African player it says is going to be a star. Beauden Barrett is going to be a star, so watch out for him at the World Cup. Michael Leach. Malcolm Marx. Interesting. So, the official World Cup magazine. It's easy enough to accumulate all that stuff. And generally, I'm one for not hoarding stuff and generally just getting rid of it if you're not actively using it. But rugby stuff seems to be an exception. And, it's not just that. Other stuff, some random. Honestly, you might get a giggle out of this. KFC here in New Zealand did a Super Rugby tie-in. So you can get a Blues hat, which is KFC. There's a Blues hat with the Colonel on it. Like, that's just a bit random, isn't it? I don't know, Blues flag, not that you ever really need scarves in Auckland, I reckon. Ireland 2003 Rugby World Cup scarf. Got that from my grandma's partner who since passed away. He's Irish. So, that's some of my stuff. I also had a look through some of my old man stuff. Now, he's one who's known to hoard a little bit of stuff. This is just a little bit of the stuff that I found. 10 Years of Super Rugby. It's one of those books which goes through all the kind of key moments. Essentially, a lot of the stuff's replaced by the internet. I think they probably still do make, maybe not for Super Rugby, but for some rugby they would make this kind of stuff. It's got pictures. It's just got breakdowns of some of the matches. It's got like literally every result played in Super Rugby, the location, who scored the points. Round 2 of Super Rugby in 2005. Match 4, Eden Park, Blues 18, Reds 15. Like, it tells you all the details. Again, replaced by the internet largely. Richie with the trophy. But yeah, it's just a cool little book. It's got the previous Super 10 results. Thought that was a bit of a nifty one. I can't say that I'll ever read it. Rugby Annual 19th edition. It's an annual book. Auckland 84, Counties 3. This is pre Super Rugby, 1989. John Kerwin playing for Auckland. It talks about leading point scorers. Again, internet replaces this kind of annual rugby annal. But some of the other stuff, I also found my old man's got the World and Union Rugby magazine from 1999. World Cup. Oh, man. Actually, hold on a second. I have to read this because it says who's going to win. Well, that might have been the 1999 equivalent of getting clickbaited because I couldn't find. There's a thing on the thing that says Insider's Guide, who's going to win and why, but I think that's probably the team-by-team preview, of which I didn't read every single one, but that's pretty nifty. A 1999 magazine, you know, profiling the teams, the players, and whatnot. But to go a step further than that, that cost $11.95, which is not that far different from what it would cost nowadays. This one gets even older. World Cup 91. This one was on special for $2.95. Down from $9.95, so maybe he bought it after the World Cup. The old man's book. It's got the lift out of the like the fixtures. It's got profiles of the teams. It's pretty much the same stuff. You follow mostly the same methodology when preparing a Rugby World Cup magazine nowadays. It goes through what happened at the previous World Cups. Talks about the clubs that they play for. Text about the places that they're going to be playing, like which locations. Yeah, man, 1991, $2.95. Bit of a nifty one, but it gets older. Match program. Third test, New Zealand versus South Africa, 1981. I wasn't even born. My brother was born, but I was not. Match program, like I said, cost $1. Talks about the lineups. Gary Knight, Andy Dalton, John Ashworth, Andy Hayden, Gary Wetton, Jeff Old, Murray Mixted, Frank Shelford, Dave Loveridge, Doug Rollison, Steve Pukere, Lachlan Cameron, Bernie Fraser, Stu Wilson, Alan Hewson. Facing the Springboks. Danny Gerber is in the team. It's all black and white, apart from the cover. But that's getting on. My dad never threw this match program out. But it gets even older. Lions at Bay. Pictorial record of the 1966 British Isles Tour of New Zealand. 5S, which I'm assuming means shillings. When did New Zealand switch to dollars? It's certainly got the aroma of an old magazine. Rothman's king size, advertised in this. Don Clark is out, but we still have his boot. They have put on the sideline. Looks like pretty brutal stuff. And then before that, Springbok Challenge. This is, I think, from the year before, 1965. Same company. Pictorial review. Oh, man, my dad even kept the cutout from the paper. How crazy is that? From the college rifles team that won the Gallagher Shield, because he supports college rifles. Man. I bet you my dad didn't know that was in the back of it. Madness. Some pretty cool stuff. And here I am sitting with a pack of trading cards. So, yeah. I know that's a bit of a random one. But as soon as I saw these in the vending machine, I was like, I have to buy one pack and just at least show the guys. And, yeah, you guys can let me know your thoughts on them. Like I said, books, magazines. Oh, flags. You guys have sent me mostly all the flags that I've got, which has been awesome. I've sent a few people some Blues flags. That Brumbies one was signed by a couple of players at the game. Sale Sharks, Leinster. I've got Munster, Stormers, all this kind of flags. I got loads more. Yeah, and it's all pretty cool. It's one of the few things that I do kind of tend to hoard a bit, and a few rugby jerseys as well. But yeah, I can't imagine many other places have rugby player trading cards. Again, I'm not sure how successful these are in New Zealand, given how many of them still seem to be around. I will crack this pack open. I would imagine it's mostly going to be the standard ones, because they've got different levels of cards, and there's like the special edition shiny ones. Some of them are signed and whatnot, but we'll crack this open. But please do let me know some of your kind of cool bits of rugby memorabilia. Like I said, finding magazines from my dad's collection from like 1965, 1981, 1991. I don't know, it was just cool. I don't know that I'll ever get around to actually reading them, but just thumb through and have a look was pretty cool. Well, let's crack this pack open. If you guys have collected these, let me know what you reckon about them. But yeah, see if I can actually get into the packet first. There we go. See which players I have picked up in the 2019 New Zealand Rugby. Okay. I think the first card is the special one. That'll be the one card which is a not normal one. Forward power. It's a Kira Iwane. Yeah, I'm not sure that they would make a special edition one of him anymore, because he seems to be slightly on the outer with my blues. I got Mitch Karpik in Māori All Blacks colours. I've got Tyler Nathan Wong in Blacks Ferns Sevens colours. I've got Regan Weir in All Blacks Sevens colours, so it seems to be a bit of each team. Celicia Winiata. Is it Celicia or Celica? She's on the breakdown and whatnot sometimes. She's a pretty good speaker. Black Ferns, Artie Savia in his Canes colours. Shannon Frizzell in his Highlanders colours. I finally got a Blues man other than Akira Alpha Tuangafasi in his Blues colours, and Geordie Barrett in his All Blacks colours. So yeah, that's a look at those. I think they probably look a little. Do they look a bit nicer than the same ones from the previous year, from the 2018 ones? What do you guys reckon? This one is 2019. This one is 2018. Maybe a bit flasher. On the back, it's got their kind of position, their height and weight and whatnot. But yeah, more stuff. I definitely limit myself to one pack. There's no way I'm getting into trying to collect the whole set, because that would be a slippery slope to go down to try and get all the trading cards. But yeah, do let me know. I know this is a bit of a random vid, guys. Do let me know some of the stuff that you guys have got floating around, because I'm sure there's some gold. If you look online, you can certainly still find kind of old magazines and match programs and jerseys and flags and all that kind of stuff as well. Trading cards galore, at least here in New Zealand as well. But yeah, cheers guys, and I'll talk to you again soon. See you later.